a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The door of the telephone box sprang open, and Mr. Weasley stepped out of it, followed by Harry, whose mouth had fallen open. They were standing at one end of a very long and splendid hall with a highly polished dark wood floor. The peacock blue ceiling was inlaid with gleaming golden symbols that were continually moving and changing like some enormous heavenly notice board. The walls on each side were paneled in shiny dark wood and had many gilded fireplaces set into them. Every few seconds, a witch or wizard would emerge from one of the left-handed fireplaces with a soft whoosh. On the right-hand side, short queues of wizards were forming before each fireplace, waiting to depart. Welcome to the restricted section, the Harry Potter Slander Harry Potter Book Club podcast, where we love and cherish our trans friends every single day. If you haven't done the reading, don't worry, we did it for you. Here's what we're talking about today. Chapter 7, The Ministry of Magic. This whole chapter is just world building for the Ministry of Magic. Arthur participates in Take Your Son's Best Friend to Work Day. And they quickly realize that the time of Harry's hearing has been changed, and now they're late, which is super ethical. Love that. So they dash off to the courtroom in the Department of Mysteries. And I wonder what will happen next chapter. Welcome to the restricted section where bureaucracy fucking sucks, even if it's magical. My co-host today is Grace from the Misuse of Muggle Artifacts office. Say hello to the listeners, Grace.
Hello.
And I'm super excited because our special guest today is someone you may recognize. It's Jason Hilton, regular friend. How are you doing? Say hello to the listeners.
Hello, you filthy animals. I mean, listeners.
I think I did literally label you as like regular friend or something because when I'm putting up our guest schedule, it like I like to be like, this person is from this show, right, for my co-host, or like this person is a friend, and that's the energy we're going into this recording with.
We gotta.
So, Jason, friend, formerly of the Movie Night Crew podcast, but you've also heard his voice on this podcast many times before. You were probably one of our earliest guests, and for that, I thank you.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Oh, what did I come on for? I think it was the first Chamber of Secrets.
I'm looking. I always forget to look it up.
You have the knowledge.
Let me go to my episode log. Jason. You came on for, chapter 1 of Chamber of Secrets, which was the first, like, regular guest we had.
Look at that.
Look how far I've come. I made a whole podcast and I dumped it, and then I'm on more.
And then you came on again for the Heir of Slytherin. And then you came on again for the Boggart in the Wardrobe and Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, I'm just going to keep. And then you came on again for Chapter 4 of Goblet of Fire, Back to the Burrow. And then...
oh, that's funny, because I was just thinking today, I was like, what fucking chapter did I do for Goblet of Fire? I literally couldn't... It was pretty boring.
And then you also were on our Horns bonus episode, just because I did a control find for all of your names instances.
That was a pretty good one. I like that you made me watch that.
Yeah, that is a great movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't, and sign up for our Patreon. So how have you been since September 22nd, 2021?
Oh, geez. it's been long. I've been pretty good. I've actually started a new job a few weeks ago.
Woo!
Oh, amazing.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Tell us what you're doing.
It's pretty good. I'm working at a photo production lab. So here in Richmond. And
dream job.
It's like, okay, for context, I used to do bedded insurance authorization for a hospital system for like 5 years. And then I couldn't take it anymore and I had to quit. So, but within a few weeks, I got this job. It's a seasonal job at this place that does a lot of like printing photos for, graduations or school photos or Pee Wee football and stuff like that. Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
And they need extra help during the fall and winter season. So
Yeah.
I'm helping their laser technician team. It always sounds so fancy.
So you're a laser technician? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Freaking laser beams.
I mean
Technicians
seasonal.
with laser beams attached.
Fucking laser.
Foreheads.
It's like I'm a humble laser technician. I will admit that I'm seasonal. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. Like I went from being in a really tiny home office for like the last 2 years to being in a bustling factory with a lot of stuff going on and a very lax headphone policy. And
Nice.
I love to see it.
and a cool staff, and it's just been pretty cool. It's been really cool so far, actually.
Yeah.
I usually hate working, so
Yeah.
like this is the
it
first
doesn't
job.
have to
in-
be this way.
exactly. You just got to find like that one tiny little weird little niche for you.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
Me too.
Thank you.
are thriving right now.
It's amazing, Jason. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you maybe listen to this chapter.
Yeah, so I'm like the disappointing end of this story is that
You ruined my workday today. I had to listen to the audiobook.
Me too. That's what I did.
nice, and I read it, so we're well rounded.
Yeah.
Grace, what are you drinking? It looks like a big, tall, refreshing glass of apple juice.
Ooh, it's just so not that. No, it's a Festy from Star Hill. A little beer action today.
The one I'm drinking is called Fest Beer. It's the
Ooh.
Sam Adams.
Oh my God, we're like really vibing today.
Dude, fall is my favorite season of beer.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's so good.
I was at Kroger
Yeah.
today, and they had a pumpkin spice latte
No.
beer, where it's like
That's too much.
it's. Do you guys know Ale Works? Like they're in Williamsburg.
No.
They make.
But I believe you.
It was described as a spiced pumpkin ale with coffee notes, which I thought would be kind of good. But it had like
Actually, that sounds pretty good.
I might look
snuggly
up some
beers.
reviews. But can I share what I'm drinking?
Please
Because
do.
I actually have a thing. So I was at the liquor store yesterday, like you do on a Tuesday, and apparently, like I had hit some kind of like promotional bonus or requirement, so I spent over $25 because I had to buy lime juice while I was there. And they say you get a free drink with that, and I have a Loyal lemonade and iced tea. It's vodka with lemonade, black tea, and quote natural flavors.
Ah.
All right.
I have no idea what to expect of this, but I'm
It's a boozy Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
yeah. But the fact that it was free made me feel like a little shitty about myself. I was like, "Wow,
You
you bought
qualify for
so
free
much
booze.
liquor. Here's more."
I think you should feel good about that.
I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, I'll accept it, but like, God,
It's for free.
How does it taste? Let us know.
smelling right now."
He's smelling it.
He's
Yeah,
wafting. He's wafting.
What is it called with the red wine? You like swirl it or swill it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Swirl it. I guess you swirl it and then swill it. I don't really know.
Didn't
what that
you
word
read like a wine book recently?
a wide book?
A wine
Oh, I
memoir.
thought you said a wide book, and I was like,
It's
I
Order of the
guess.
Phoenix. That's the one. That's the wine book.
I did read a wine book recently, and I plugged on this podcast, Wine Girl by Victoria James, about America's Youngest Sommelier. Very cool
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, how was your drink, Jason?
It is actually not that bad.
Nice,
Okay,
not that
great.
bad. We'll take it.
But the fact that it's like in a can and everything, I would never buy it again. Probably. I'm only drinking
Well,
this because
you
it's
didn't
free.
buy it the first time. It's for free.
It's really sweet though.
Well,
And Grace, how have you been lately?
I've been really good. Really good. Just getting excited because next week I'm going to be taking a little trip to Chicago. I haven't really spent any time in Chicago. I went there for a wedding when I was like 8. And because I was there for a wedding, that was kind of the deal. So I didn't really get to,
Yes.
see the sights. So I'm excited to go and visit and have a fun time.
I went
Cool.
to Chicago also when I was 8.
Oh, weird.
And yeah, isn't that kind of random?
Yeah.
I remember because it was my 8th birthday.
Oh.
And we went to, they had an American Girl place there.
Ah,
Nice.
And I was quite a spoiled 8-year-old for sure. That's when we bought the house in Clifton.
Oh, I've heard of the house.
But Chicago I've heard is extremely fun, and it seems like they have kind of a cool like comedy scene. Maybe I feel like a lot of the comedians I like are from Chicago.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I think
should
there's
go
like a
see
famous improv troupe that's stationed in Chicago.
Yeah, you should go see some improv while you're there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the plans right now are pretty fluid. So, Chicago's
excited
my
for you.
oyster. Thank you so
You'll
much.
You'll have to report back.
I will.
Dope. Well, I'm doing great too. Should we talk about Harry Potter?
Hey, Christina. Wait, hold on. Christina, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
I forgot
for
how
asking.
conversations worked. I'm so sorry.
Tina's in just such a hurry to talk about this chapter.
On Saturday, I watched the entire Lord of the Rings extended edition trilogy for my good friend's birthday. Courtney Berry, she's been on the show before.
Happy birthday,
And
Courtney.
we ate so much food and drank so much booze from such an early... We started at like 9 a.m.
What?
Wow.
And it was honestly the most exhausting thing I've ever done. So fun. But I feel like I've been tired ever since then.
I love
Yeah.
those movies, but I've never tried doing that. I remember you told me about that like last week or something, and I was like extended editions, and you just kind of looked at me like, fucking of course. Like, and I was like, of course, that's more painful.
I thought that I had watched them all three together, but halfway through the trilogy, aka 6 full hours into the trilogy, I was like, I would remember this. If I had ever had to endure this before, I'd remember.
Mm-hmm.
It just took I'm really bad at doing nothing.
Yeah.
And it took forever. I don't mean to complain. I had a great time, but it just was like a party too. So I almost don't remember watching the movies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, how many times have all you guys seen that movie?
Yeah. I feel like it's a great idea. And I'm sure that you had a lot of fun throughout. Maybe not the whole time, but
we ate so much food and drank so much booze.
I mean, come on. Sounds great.
It was great. So that's how I am. I'm
You're just
in,
still
a 4-day
recovering.
hangover,
Okay.
from a Lord of the Rings.
Cool.
And now you have to watch more Rings of Power stuff.
I know. Sean's been like, we're behind, and Sean's like, we need to watch it, and I'm like, I don't have it in me
I
right now.
fucking
Give me a
can't.
week of recovery from this world.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll do Harry Potter instead of Lord of the Rings. then.
There you go.
Let's move on.
I guess I'm just so eager to start this chapter. So much happens in it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a world building delight.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe too indulgent at times. So Harry wakes up at the beginning of the chapter, and what day is it?
It's today.
It's the day.
Today. It's the day of the hearing.
Finally, I feel like,
The anxiety is the worst part of
oh,
it.
God.
Oh, the build up to it. Yeah.
The amount of times in my life that I've woken up at the crack of dawn because of anxiety is probably too many
Oh
times.
my God. Yes. Wow. So relatable. I'm
Yeah.
having traumatic flashbacks to the RVA Book Lovers
Ah!
Festival.
Oh my God, seriously.
Just waking up at 4 a.m. in a cold sweat,
Yep.
ready to go.
Just get this damn book festival over with.
I love it a lot, but obviously gives me a ton of anxiety.
Yep.
And he goes downstairs and everyone is just talking and they all just look up at him and no one says anything. They
Yeah.
just keep talking.
Yeah,
It definitely has early morning energy.
for sure.
And then everyone's giving him advice. It's Tonks and Sirius and Mr. Weasley and Mrs. Weasley. Is Lupin there?
I think Lupin's there too.
Lupin shows
'Cause
up.
I think Tonks is talking to Lupin about Scrimgore.
It's true.
Did I say his name right? Scrimgore? Is that it?
Scrim shower?
Yeah.
Scrim shower.
What? I don't like that.
What does a mother go through? The thought process of naming your child that.
Wait, can you hold on? Shh, 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 shh. Quiet now.
Scrimgore.
What? Did you hear?
Yeah.
Scrimgore.
Scrimgore?
Scrimgore.
That's how
Okay.
that's how I was saying it. Maybe I've
Scrimgore.
looked it up before.
Wow.
Could be wrong.
Would you
still.
look at that? You're not wrong. Come on, Grace. I just proved you right, and then you're like, I could be wrong.
I know, but somehow.
Is Scrim
Don't be a sore winner.
is Scrimgore
Scrimgore.
Scrimgore,
Like
sorry.
Al Gore's brother, Scrimgore.
but is that the character that Bill Nighy plays?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I love that. I love him as a character.
Yeah, it kind of helps to have a face to it.
Yeah, he replaces Fudge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's how like Deathly Hallows begins, I think, with like
yes,
a narrative.
it does with the
That's
the
right.
will.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's actually the next book where the Prime Minister has the chapter where Fudge comes and it's like, oh, I got fired. There's the
Oh
new
my
Prime
god,
Minister.
I do. Oh my god, you just gave me
Or
like
Minister of Magic.
You just gave me like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. I remember that chapter.
Brain blast.
I love that chapter so much. It's so fun.
Oh really? I remember being kind of bored when I was a kid, but that's because I had a short
Well-
attention span.
I love all 3 chapters, I think, is what it was, that don't happen from Harry's point of view.
Oh, there
Are
you
fun.
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. Like the
Is it
Goblet
3?
of Fire too has one.
There's the one in Goblet of Fire, and then there's like the very first chapter, which is from Vernon Dursley's perspective.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
And then this one. Not this one that we're talking about, but
Yes, indeed.
yeah.
Okay, it's time to go to your hearing, which is the next chapter. I just don't want anyone to get excited. The name of the next chapter
I was
is
like,
Hearing,
hold your
so we're not-
horses,
we're not
Tina.
doing
I
it.
We're
know,
not getting there yet.
exactly. We're
we
definitely
gotta
not
talk
there
about-
Time
yet.
to go.
Okay, let's comment about Harry's preference for breakfast this morning.
Okay, please do. We have to comment about every little thing.
Porridge, muffins, kippers, bacon and eggs, toast. Go.
What's Kippers, Precious?
I think it's a fish.
I think it's fish.
Ironically.
Oh, that's really funny that I
Yeah,
did
you did the
my-
Precious thing.
I did my Gollum thing and it's fish.
I was just thinking it would be like a bagel with lox or something. I don't know.
Ooh,
that
yeah.
sounds,
That sounds way better than just fish.
yeah, I agree. I may be giving it too much credit. I don't know.
Yeah, that you never know with these British dishes.
Exactly. What would you guys go with?
I've always kind of wanted to try beans on toast because, like, that's just such a weird. That's just like one of those British things that
Very
like
English.
an entire country eats it, so it can't be that bad.
I disagree. White people eat bad things sometimes.
That
true.
sounds like such a old wartimey ration kind of dish. It's
Like we're doing it because we have to.
yeah, but at first it just stuck around.
Yeah.
Technically, I had toast with beans for dinner. Technically, because
Wait.
I had chili and then I made myself a little garlic toast to go with it.
Oh, okay, but it's not
That's
like
like-
baked beans.
That's like leveled up. That doesn't.
They were
On white
stewed
bread.
beans.
That sounds delicious.
It was delicious. It was a really good recipe that I stole from. I didn't steal it, but like the person that I babysit for had it out on their counter, and I was like, "That
nice.
looks good."
Nice.
The recipe, and I snapped a picture. I babysit a lot in my life, and like some of the best recipes I've ever found have been that exact method of just being at somebody's house, babysitting, and being like, "That is a balanced meal. That sounds yummy in my tummy."
Aw.
Yeah, toast isn't exactly a balanced meal. Although I do kind of feel for Harry because like when you're in the morning and you have like that anxious stomach ache and you really don't feel like eating, I liked the line where it said like he tried to eat, but it was like chewing carpet. It's like you have to muscle through like the whatever food is put in front of you. Just so you like don't go on an empty stomach.
Exactly. And when Arthur's like, "It's time to go," it's like Harry dropped his toast immediately.
Oh,
He's like,
no.
That's great.
He was glad to be rid of that toast.
I was really
Yeah.
looking forward to that toast, man.
Okay, hold on. Let me read my long note to myself.
Bomber jacket.
Wait, what?
I said bomber jacket. I don't know. It was like the first
Arthur's
phrase I
fit.
said. Yeah.
He's got like the pinstripe pants and a bomber jacket. Like
I had
fuck
a
yeah,
tough
dude.
time visualizing that, but
I didn't. I visualized it immediately. It's beautiful.
I need to see if that's on DeviantArt somewhere.
Yeah.
Arthur's work outfit.
So why can like Harry just go really publicly? I mean, I think this is probably like public knowledge that Harry Potter has a hearing today. Like, why is he allowed to just like stroll through London with Arthur Weasley only as protection? But when he got picked up from his aunt and uncle's house, they needed like a whole army
yeah.
of like 15 people to come get him.
Oh. Wait, no. Now I hate this chapter.
I don't know.
No, that really doesn't make any sense. I guess
Yeah.
because like they're in Muggle society, so maybe that kind of protects them.
Yeah,
a little
like
bit.
there wouldn't be a lot of wizards taking like the Muggle route to work, probably.
Yeah,
Like they come
yeah.
in through like the visitors entrance, aka like the telephone booth.
Actually, they go through the train first.
Yeah, the train first. I just feel like there probably aren't a lot of wizards around the path that they take.
I mean, would you commute on the London like public transit system if you could just teleport to work?
No.
No.
Yeah, hard no.
No.
Yeah, and then also I just feel like it's weird that they're like, let's walk around London like someone maybe will figure out where they're staying if they see them just like walking around some random London neighborhood.
Oh yeah, so it could like be a safety thing to not give away the Order of the Phoenix's location, I guess. I
don't know, man.
Yeah, I honestly haven't picked up this book since I was like, I mean, just like tangent, but like I read this like when it came out when I was like 14 or 15, so I was like the same age as like the characters in the book.
Do you remember reading this chapter and the intro to the Ministry?
I feel like this book was like the first kind of Harry Potter book that felt like a chore to get through.
I agree with that.
Sure as hell feels like a chore right now.
I mean, because yeah, it was especially because there was a lot of hype around the book, you know, like when it was coming out, and especially because of like the mystery death and everything, and
that's how she gets you like the next 3 books. It's like mystery death. Are you interested in a mystery death?
Yeah,
you have to find out
exactly. Like I feel like after Goblet of Fire, there's like a stark contrast in how she hooks readers in, I suppose. I mean, because like Goblet of Fire does have a great cliffhanger at the end. So, like going into this, like I feel like it's like an obligatory book to have. It's like a transition story, but it's just like a lot of kind of boring stuff. Like, I don't know, something about introducing like this wizard city hall makes it like
here's the government.
It's like a little too relatable. You have to like check your wand when you get in, and you have like a visitor's badge, and
and also who fucking cares about those 2 details you just said? Like they're so mundane. It's like, why are we talking about it for so long?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and it's like this is world building, I guess, but it's like I don't know.
Not all world building is good world building.
Yeah, like you don't have to do the most all the time.
Yeah, I don't ever ask the question, does Galadriel have to pay taxes or not?
Oh my god, now I'm going to, though. Here they go. They go on the London Underground. Arthur's being very serious. It's a very serious day, but he's also a little bit delighted to using Muggle technology.
He's a little tickled.
Yeah, I love that. I love that
Me too.
he has that spirit about him. I think that makes his character just so earnest and lovable.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like, you know how children like look at our techno wizardry and think it's like magic, but this is like a full-grown adult who does literally work in magic, and you know, like the simplest things, even like when it's out of order.
Exactly. He's like, this is actually broken, Arthur. He's like, I don't care, I love it.
It doesn't matter.
Marvelous.
It's so beautiful.
Bloody brilliant.
It's his, and like Muggle technology is definitely Arthur's ADHD hyperfocus.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Like, it's his thing.
Yeah, you think
his,
he would like go in this
zone.
train station more often, just be like, what is all this stuff?
I
Looking at like
know.
a hand sanitizer dispenser and just being like, marvelous.
Maybe he's like embarrassed to go by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, if you're running late, I would just teleport.
Yes, indeed, for sure. So they come out of the underground on a shabby side street, and they find a telephone box, and they both go in together. Spoiler alert, it is not bigger on the inside.
No, we thought it was going to be like the tents from Goblet of Fire.
Oh, yeah. It's not. They smoosh together.
And
So
Superman
smoosh.
wasn't in there either.
And Arthur beep boop boops on some buttons. A voice is like, state your name and business. Only it's like a cool female
It's
voice.
a cool
like, state
female
your name
voice?
and business.
Oh my god, the amount of times that cool female voice was mentioned in this chapter.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
She's a cool female. What can she say?
She can only say it in a cool female voice. If she
Is
says
it? It's so relaxing.
Jason, do a cool female voice.
Okay. Does cool female voice mean like?
No, it's all up to you.
Okay. What's the line?
That's all the text says. A cool female voice.
Jason's like, line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Welcome to the Ministry of Magic. Please state your name and business.
Nice.
Kinda like
That was
that.
really good.
Yeah, that's good.
I just picture like Siri or something, but like
Yeah.
magical.
Oh, yeah.
Grace, do your cool female voice.
Okay. I'm going to do the same line just for comparison.
Okay.
Welcome to the Ministry of Magic.
Nice.
Was
That
there
great.
more?
That was very
I don't
cool.
know. Okay.
That was very cool of you.
I tried to put some frost in there.
I'm like, ooh, chilly.
So chilly.
Speaking of cool voices, actually, Grace, I want to talk to you since you did listen to the audiobooks. Speaking
yeah.
of cool voices,
Yeah.
did you have kind of a hard time with Jim Dale like in a few of his vocal performances?
Yeah, and I feel like, here's what I'll say. Everyone loves Jim Dale so much, and I did not grow up like listening to the audiobooks. I've really only listened to them for this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Sometimes I have a bit of a hard time.
I was listening to like the previous chapter before this where they're talking about the Black family legacy and everything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but notice that like his voice for Sirius is like exactly like Mundungus Fletcher's voice.
Yeah, and it's like...
And Sirius just kind of sounds drunk all the time. And it's
It's
just
an
kind of
interesting
strange.
choice. It's an
like,
interesting choice.
yeah, it's like, hello, Harry. I'm a doggy and your godfather. It's so nice to meet you.
That's actually very accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, who's talking right now? But anyway.
No,
Is he
for
the
sure.
one who pronounces it Avada Kedavra?
Yeah.
I don't know. He hasn't said it yet.
It's like, how many R's can I put in this word?
Yeah, it's kind of extra. I feel like that's an unpopular opinion, though, because a lot of people really like him. So
Really?
sorry.
Okay. That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure they do.
I tried listening to the first couple of chapters, and I did kind of like the first chapter just because it was kind of like simple. It didn't have like a lot of exposition stuff, and it was just
Yeah,
between Harry.
Not a lot of
Very, like,
different like
understated.
character voices to do.
and then once like everything starts getting going, and then like the female characters start getting involved,
Yeah.
and you have to hear him like talk as Hermione.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's like
Oh.
it's,
Oh, no.
it's like this is not the ideal way to read
It does
this book.
take me out of it a little bit. I do miss reading like the print copies, I will say.
Yeah.
But gotta do what we gotta
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean?
The voices are always hard for me. I don't listen to like a ton of audiobooks, and most of them are nonfiction. But every once in a while, for some reason, it's usually like some shitty romance novel I'm like 8% interested in. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay for it, but like I'll listen to it on my library app. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read it with my eyes.
Not
And
these old things.
It's always like a lady narrator, but she's doing like sex scenes with this like honky man heartthrob, and she's always like this posh woman's voice doing like honky man voices. I try to take it seriously. And actually, that reminds me that the first audiobook I ever listened to was 50 Shades of
No.
Grey.
No.
Yes.
Who narrates 50 Shades of Grey?
I was not going to read that with my eyeballs, but I read it with my ears while I was cleaning pools.
With your
in
earballs.
college. Yeah.
Wait, Christina, I want to hear your cool female voice. Just real quick for us.
Welcome to the Ministry of Magic. State your name and business.
That's really good.
Very hard for me to do like emotionless.
No,
That was pretty
good.
good. I felt relaxed, I
Thank
suppose.
you.
I liked it.
Thank you so much.
You should do the rest of the episode in that voice.
The phone box opens up into the atrium.
Okay, I take it back.
Welcome
Don't do
to
that.
The Ministry of Magic. It's cool. It looks cool in there. It's like a lush description of them. It's the Ministry of Magic looks cool. There's fireplaces. There's a statue. Statue's kind of weird. Hate that. But
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
the vibe is good. Otherwise,
But the statue is bad.
Yeah, I don't know why I was more okay with that statue when I was younger, but
Woo!
just the description where it was just, look at all these humans, like, showering the goodness and magic onto essentially the short people.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, I
But
hate
it's
that.
even like the description is even like the witch is also like grouped around the wizard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and
I was noticing the phrasing too.
Yeah, and how it says, like, the goblin and the elf are looking up adoringly at them. And I'm just like, wow. Maybe it's just, like, our culture now where we just see, like, these kind of red flags, like, immediately now. But back then, like, it just seemed kind of normal, I guess. I'm a little ashamed to say that, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the statue, like, changes later once Voldemort takes power. I think the statue becomes, like, more...
It's more oppressive.
But, like...
But only towards muggles.
Not ideal. Yeah, I don't love this.
Yeah.
So Arthur leads Harry to this little security station, and they scan him in and examine his wand. Why? Why do they do this? They don't even ask for his name.
Yeah, I was like, what? And then he gets, like, the little receipt that's, like, all of the stats about his wand.
Stats,
and then the guy's like, can you confirm? And he's like, yep, sounds right.
Do you want
to
know my literal name? Like, what if a crime is committed with that wand today in this building? Like, what are you going to do about it? You don't know my name.
Yeah. It's so weird. I know he has the little name tag on.
Yeah, this reminds me of when they tried to introduce, like, politics and, like, bureaucratic jargon in Star Wars, like, in the prequels and everything, where they introduced, like, the Galactic Senate and everything. And it's just like, do we really, like, need this kind of immersion? Like, this just sounds...
It's boring.
Like,
it's bureaucracy. It always sucks.
This isn't escapist. Like, this is just real life.
Yeah.
But there's a wand, I guess, so it's better.
Oh, it's not doing anything in this chapter. We go to the elevator. Lots of fun world building happening. Let's just, like, list every single floor we go past.
Perfect.
And, like,
that's like half the chapter, so might as well.
Literally, it's like one of them is 5 lines long.
No, if I worked at this place, I would hate taking the elevator.
Yeah, because it has to give you the whole deal every single time before the doors open. Every day of your life? Are you kidding me?
We hate it.
It's like I would take the stairs.
Yeah,
exactly. There's little paper airplanes that convey interdepartmental memos, which, like, that's clever, cute
that's
vibes,
cute,
I think.
Clever, cute vibes, especially knowing that they used to just use owls, which that's a nightmare.
Arthur Weasley is, like, shit everywhere.
Yeah, which is funny to me that, like, within Arthur's time there, they used owls. And I'm like, bro.
When did that change happen, I wonder?
Yeah, and, like, certainly it should have happened sooner.
It reminds me of when our old boss Grace would be like, we used to have to edit manuscripts by hand. And you and I were like, oh, we would not have picked this profession under those circumstances.
Exactly. Would have made some different choices.
Like, if there's owls shitting everywhere, I'm not working in that office.
I'm also trying to picture, like, that elevator with, like, all those owls in there. Like, what the fuck?
So chaotic. Maybe they had perches back in the day.
Yeah.
So they arrive at Arthur's floor. They stop to say hi to Kingsley, which is, like, it's very cute. They're, like, pretending they don't know each other.
I love this interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so smart about it.
Although you think they would maybe, like, clue in Harry about, like, the whole you have to be discreet about us knowing each other thing, because he almost said that.
Like,
no.
Harry's about to be like, hi, Kingsley. And then it says that Mr. Weasley stood on his foot to convey that he needed to shut up, which is not a gesture I even really understand. Like, I don't believe that I would be like, oh, that means I should shut up. Maybe I'm
Same.
It's just to, like, interrupt whatever you're doing. Just like, fucking shut up.
Yeah, but, like, they had this whole commute, this whole journey to the ministry where they could have been chatting about, you know, potential things that might come up. Maybe we'll run into some people.
And Harry's been there for days at the Order of the Phoenix, and it's like, if anyone ever tried to talk to him about anything, maybe he would understand better how to behave about it.
Yeah, even Kingsley would be like, hey, if you see me, like, inside there, like, don't really acknowledge that you know me.
Like,
or
maybe
don't acknowledge me.
Be
We're
chill,
fighting.
be chill.
It is very cute because Arthur and Kingsley are, like, acting like they're fight. Kingsley's like, you need to give me this fucking report. And then he
give me that report, like, on fire legs.
He's like, yeah, the one you wrote me about fire legs took way too long. And Arthur's like, well, if you even read the report, you would know it was firearms. And that's, like, the dumbest, stupidest joke ever. And I love it so much.
Also, the implications of that, where it was like Arthur was looking into guns, or
yeah, I guess so. Like, magicked guns.
Do you think Voldemort's looking for a gun?
Oh my god, I've been asking people what they thought the first time they read this book, what they thought this, like, big mysterious weapon was. And my favorite answers are, I've heard people say, like, I thought it was just a bomb, like a regular bomb.
Straight up.
Oh,
like-
yeah, like if he went to just like steal a nuke or something.
Yeah, like a nuke. Or like a gun, like a really good gun.
Or like I did hear the last episode, and I think Constantine said like just a big cannon.
A big
Yes.
cannon, yeah. A big
I never
cannon.
would have thought it was just like a betterer wand.
Yeah. Well, I liked Andrew's theory. I think he said like time turner or something.
Time turners. Yeah,
That
that
was
is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a dumb bitch, and I don't like wonder as I'm reading. Like, I just like so innocently wait for the story to unfold itself to me. I just read a 3-book mystery trilogy that I adored every second of it, and I'll plug it later. But the whole time I was like, I don't know if I can know who it is. I can't wait to find out, because like I'm just not.
I
the
love
brain's
that.
never
I'm
going.
kind of the same way. I try not to guess because sometimes it ruins it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like going on because I'm like watching both like Rings of Power and House of the Dragons right now, and I'm not like going onto forums to like discuss each and every
yeah.
episode and predict what might happen and stuff. That's not fun.
It's
'Cause
not
that-
fun.
You
I
might
agree.
accidentally end up spoiling it, like for
Yeah,
yourself.
and then you're going to be disappointed because
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I saw it coming.
Well, that's exactly what happened to Game of Thrones. Is as soon as everyone figured out like the thing about
Oh yeah,
Jon.
didn't George R. R. Martin say like, oh yeah, someone figured out the ending like years ago? And
yeah,
told
and
me
it's
it.
just like, okay, well, let's do the least amount of work to get there now that people know.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a Bob's Burgers episode where Linda goes to a book signing and spoils the ending of the mystery to everyone at the book signing.
Snake kills Dumbledore.
So they finally get to the tiny, dingy little misuse of Muggle artifacts office. We've heard a lot about this office, but it's fun to finally see it, kind of. I mean, it's kind of depressing.
It's like a little closet.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of a shitty job I used to have like when I was 24.
Well, knowing that Arthur loves it, I don't know.
It's true, his heart is in it.
Arthur's like, they won't give us a window. And I'm like, you just said that the windows are magical like 3 paragraphs ago. Like, can't you just like install your own window, my dude?
It feels possible, but
That was a funny line earlier when they were talking about the people who like are maintenance for the fake windows. They
yeah,
said,
magical maintenance. Capital M, magical maintenance.
we had hurricane weather for a long time while they were itching for a pay raise.
yeah.
That is a good line. I just can't. One of my big pet peeves in this particular reread, you know, this long agonizing one that is my podcast, is the way that she acts like, the way that Joanne acts like
Joanne.
the names she invents for stuff are like incredibly special.
Yeah, and it's not.
And they're not, most of her, the human names are pretty solid, but like, I think I pointed out in a previous chapter, she capitalized the words owl treats.
Oh my god.
That's not something. And then she's like, what if it was maintenance, but like magical? I invented that now. Capital M, capital M.
Here's the thing. I'm going to need you to continue pointing those moments out because as we've mentioned, I'm reading the audiobook, listening to the audiobook.
Oh, indeed.
And so, yeah, I'm missing out on these things. So you have to like keep me posted on
I will.
all of
I
the
absolutely will.
flagrant capitalization.
Just, it's rude.
Ugh,
It's just
churlish.
conceited. Churlish. I watched that video like very recently.
I love that one.
I did just see a line that I also really liked where it was Arthur talking to Kingsley. And he's just like, psst, if you can get away before 7, Molly's making meatballs.
I know. So good.
It's so cute. It's literally so cute. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah.
So they hang out in the tiny office for like just a minute. And then Perkins, our boy Perkins, you lent us those cool tents. You've been working in this tiny room with Arthur for a long time. This is Arthur's work husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perkins comes in hot to tell Arthur that the hearing time has been changed to Check's watch 5 minutes ago,
Oh my god.
which is just objectively unethical. It is
Yeah.
like objectively unethical. I don't know.
Everyone's acting like it's like completely normal. I'm like, well, how is this even allowed?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to go to like the super dungeons in the back in like
They do have to go to the super dungeons. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and
Like
like Perkins says that he was like, oh, I sent an owl. Okay, if you send an owl
Wait, we still use those?
But like, I'm just so confused. Like, how could they have ever made it on time? They're already late right now and they're in the building.
Objectively unethical. Somebody needs to write a report about this. Sorry, the mystery trilogy I just read had a girl who was always writing news bulletins about everything and ruining everything.
Get a capital R report.
Mm-hmm.
It's a magic report. Department of Mysteries in a cool female voice.
Wait, yeah. Arthur
again.
and Harry, like, run out of the
Everywhere.
office. And they go into the elevator. But, like, the elevator doesn't go all the way down to the super dungeon.
No. The elevator doesn't go that far.
It does not go that far.
Because they don't use these rooms anymore, right?
It's really dumb and weird. They're probably dusty. Who dusted? Magical dusting, MD.
I am kind of thinking about the movies a little bit. And so would this be like kind of like the same set of rooms that like Barty Crouch and all of them were
I think
judged
so.
in? Okay, so
Yeah, I think they're like similar.
now that I think about it, it's a little McCarthy-esque, like all these courtrooms with just a bunch of people.
Yeah, they get out at the Department of Mysteries, which we're hearing about this for the first time right now. The Department of Mysteries said a cool female voice. Is that right?
Yes. No.
And that's all she said.
It was a lukewarm female voice at this point.
Okay.
Coffee was wearing off.
Of Mysteries.
Department of Mysteries. Fucking.
Don't ask any questions.
They don't pay me enough.
They go down some stairs because, as I mentioned, elevator don't go. And they finally get to the courtroom. And Arthur's like, LOL, good luck. And Harry's like, oh, well, I thought you were coming with me. You're my guardian. And Arthur's like, no, you got to go in there.
Again.
And Harry goes in.
It's like that. It's like that Adam Sandler. I can't remember what movie it was. I think it was Wedding Crashers, where it's like, this information would have been really valuable to me yesterday.
Yeah, this whole chapter is the whole thing with them changing the time is like awful. Like, it's so awful.
Yeah.
It feels like no one. If I were Arthur, because of the kind of person I am, I would be like, absolutely fucking not. Like, I'm writing a fucking paper airplane about this and I'm sending it to the people who are responsible because this is like unethical. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not letting you stress about this.
I'm talking to Magical HR about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
magical, capital M, magical, capital H, capital R.
What was the other thing? There was another like title for something that was really lazy. Oh yeah, the Magical Law Enforcement Patrol.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what they don't handle they handle the exploding toilets, not the oars.
Right,
So
correct.
are those like cops versus the FBI?
Yeah, that's kind of that's I feel like that's astute. What government building do you think like is most like the Ministry of Magic?
Oh.
Oh, God.
I've only been in the like the Virginia Department of Transportation.
Probably that.
I don't know, the Lincoln Memorial.
I'm thinking more like the Museum of Natural History in the Smithsonian. You like walk in and it's like a rotunda. And then you can go off in all of these cool different directions to go look at all the cool exhibits.
I love that museum.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's the best museum, in my personal opinion. To this date, it's my favorite museum.
Yeah.
American history is pretty good, but that one's like that has dinosaur bones in it. Like, how can you compete with that?
Yeah. Dinosaur bones and like cool rocks.
And mammals.
That's all you
and,
need.
Yeah, stuffed animals and
It has that big whale skeleton.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a cool one.
I love this museum so much. I have to go.
Let's go. Family trip.
Yeah.
I haven't been
I'm
since
here for it.
just thought of a cute detail. I haven't been to that museum since the day I proposed to Leela.
Where did you propose to Leela?
Oh, so I know I wanted to take her to DC because a few years before I was like planning this proposal for months.
Aw.
I knew I wanted to do it in DC, and I knew I kind of wanted to do it in the Lincoln Memorial because we saw someone get proposed to there, and she would like made an offhand comment about that would be so nice if like it was a nice memory like that. So I like kept that in the old noggin.
Aw, Jason.
But what happened was, so I was just like, hey, let's just go like to DC today for the day or something like that. And we went around to a bunch of different museums, and then it was already dark. And we got to the Lincoln Memorial, and I had like the ring in my pocket and everything. and there was like way too many people in like the main atrium. So I was just like, hey, you know what I've always wondered? What does the side of the Lincoln Memorial look like?
Oh my God, that's so
Casual.
cute.
Did you say it in a cool female voice?
I did. I should have. Then she would have said yes. But so we went over to the side, and I mean, it's just a wall with columns, and we were over there.
Cool. Anyway,
We were over there in private. We were there in private for like 2 seconds until this guy came up to us and was like, with the camera, was like, "Hey, would you like me to take your pictures?" And I was like,
absolutely not.
well, I am about to propose. Well, I was like thinking about it for a second. I was like, I am about to propose. I guess I could like get a picture of it. But the guy was like asking for my email address and saying like,
too much.
Yeah, if you give me $20 now, I'll forward you the photos.
God.
And I was like, no, get out of here. I'm trying to get a fiance over here.
Yeah. That's so cute, though.
You made it happen.
It's a beautiful
that guy
memory.
fucked off, and you made it happen.
Yeah, that was back in 2017. No, 2016. Early December 2016, the dark times.
A shining light among the darkest of times.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Do either of you have anything left to say about this chapter?
Honestly, just that the point of this chapter just feels like, remember this place because we're going to be here again later.
Yes.
A lot.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's like fun to read. Like, I think that the imagery is generally fun.
Yeah.
But like, you have to do it more elegantly than this. Like, it's so much of nothing. Just like, look what I wrote. Look what I wrote. Look what I wrote for like 8 solid pages.
The climax of the book is totally not going to happen here.
Remember this, bitch.
I was a little perplexed that we were at chapter 7, and what does it end on the 136th page?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's where we are?
Yeah.
Yep.
Almost
I feel so bad for you,
150
Tina.
pages in.
This book?
Wow.
This book, I'm going to look up I keep saying it's about 900 pages. It's 870 pages exactly. I'm going to remember that. So, yeah, we're getting a bit of a slow start.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was kind of like, it's like this and Half-Blood Prince, I think, are the books I remember the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
same.
don't remember Half-Blood Prince at all.
I
Me
think
neither.
also kind of same for the movies a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I only like rewatched Half-Blood Prince and Order of the Phoenix out of the last few years out of sheer curiosity. And it's remarkable how much I don't really like about the Order of the Phoenix movie.
Yeah, man. Yep. Next week's chapter is the hearing. So
Thank
we're going
God.
to get some plot done in that chapter. I'm really excited. We have an old friend coming on the show. You'll recognize him.
Yeah, you're going to be talking about one of the biggest like Harry Potter villains who gets her introduction
Yeah.
in that chapter.
Yep. I'm really excited. Umbridge is just so fun to talk about.
Her frog ass face.
The chapter after that is the woes of Mrs. Weasley, which is, you guessed it, another bullshit chapter.
Oh.
Does that need a whole chapter? I already kind of assume what that
No.
talked about. I already assume what
No.
that's about. That's about the Boggart thing, right?
Yes. Exactly. The chapter after that is Luna Lovegood, which I would also call a world building chapter. It's like, hey, here's this character.
She's a
We
pretty
might meet her
important
later.
character, I guess. Yeah.
The chapter after that is the Sorting Hat's new song. That's on page 200. We're going to get to Hogwarts around page 200.
Oh my God, you
y'all.
asked me.
Christ.
I just remembered now. You asked me to write a sorting song.
I'll send you the abbreviated lyrics.
Thank you, because I just turned to
it's a
that.
long one.
Yeah, I just turned to that part in the book, and it's like 2 pages.
No, it is.
I was like, this would make Tolkien blush. It's like, you had a song that lasted 2 pages.
The story is like technically picking up because we're going to get like 2 plot things done in like the next 4 chapters.
I'll believe it
that
when
I
I
mentioned,
see it.
which is the hearing and then like finally getting to Hogwarts for the love of God.
Oh my God.
And then we can get into all of the Hogwarts bullshit, which to me personally is a lot more fun than like this bullshit.
Yes.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to plugs.
Woo.
Woo.
Jason, where can people find you on the internet?
Not there.
That was a good one.
Nice. That was
you.
really solid.
Don't find me at burp.com. You can find me on Instagram. I have a photography related Instagram account called Negative Selections. I shoot exclusively with film, so that makes me special.
I like the name change, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Leela.
Very cool.
It used to be pictures of Jay, and then Leela kind of pointed out to me as like, okay, but these pictures are never of yourself. They're either of
Yeah.
me or cats or scenery.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? Fair enough.
Much vibier name now.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so check me out there if you're interested in photography or want to see like Richmond locations and stuff like that, I suppose.
Hell yeah. What have you been watching, reading, playing, listening to lately that you think the listeners of our podcast would enjoy?
Let's see. Well, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks since I started my new job because it's like I finished Project Hail Mary like during just a couple.
I love that book.
I really liked it. Yeah.
Did you listen to the audiobook?
Yes. Yeah.
I've heard the audiobook is excellent.
It was really good, especially the way they addressed like Rocky's language.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I need to listen to
and
it.
it was a lot funnier too. I imagine with like that voice actor as
The
opposed
narrator was so good.
Yeah. But on that note, I mean, I guess I could recommend Project Hail Mary, sure. But what I was going to do was the next book I started after that, which was surprisingly similar, but much more somber tone, is The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. I started listening to that book because I've always loved Jurassic Park. And,
yeah, Michael Crichton is so fun.
yeah, it is, and but the level of meticulousness about like there's like an entire flight log that's like recited with time codes and everything. So it's definitely a good way to kill a couple of hours. I like kind of like Project Hail Mary. It has like a lot of like useless statistics that don't really mean a whole lot to me, but I kind of like get the weight of them, sort of. And I always like, much like Jurassic Park, I like stories about humans just not being really prepared for like the ultimate scientific like nature consequence or something like that. So
Yeah.
I would recommend it if you're not too traumatized by COVID, because it definitely hit a few numbers there for me.
Oh, I see.
True.
Awesome. Grace, where can people find you and your work on the internet?
Ooh, you can find my work, aka my lovely company, Wildling Press, at Wildling Press on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You should also check out our podcast, How Do I Book?
Yeah.
I really like the intro music for you guys' podcast. Like not biased or
me
anything.
too. Wait, it's my favorite part.
Jason.
It's my favorite part of the episodes.
Hey, we should just stop it at the intro. I'm just kidding.
Just play it on a loop for 15 minutes.
No, it's a great podcast. You should check it out if you want to learn more about books and how to book and the publishing industry at large.
Yeah.
Things that I've been doing lately. I feel like it's just been editing, but I'm not going to plug that.
Yeah, we'll let you know
instead-
when pre-order links are available for our books.
Exactly. But no, so my sister is with child, and we had a
Oh.
So
little
serious.
I know. We had a little baby shower for her last weekend, and among all of the planning, one of the things that I had to do was make a giant cinnamon roll for that. And so I'm going to plug a recipe, which is for a giant cinnamon
Oh,
roll.
hell yeah.
Please link me to that. I love
Yeah,
cinnamon rolls so
exactly.
much.
Honestly, why not just make everything giant? Like, that's the way to go.
Giant pizza, giant cake, giant
Exactly.
brownies. Everything's
Yeah,
better when
but-
it's giant.
But Sally McKenney has a really awesome, like, cinnamon roll cake recipe, and that's the one I use. She's like a professional food photographer and like cookbook author and baker, and I've used a couple of her other recipes in the past, so I used this one for the cinnamon roll, and it was really yummy. So if anyone just wants to like make a big cinnamon roll, I recommend it, and I recommend that you use this recipe.
Yes, hell yes. I've been your host, Christina. You know where to find me. And this week, I'm going to plug, it's a follow-up on my plug from last week, actually. Because last week, I plugged the first Truly Devious novel by Maureen Johnson. And this week, I'm here to plug the entire trilogy. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, I love that journey for you.
I've never read a trilogy. That's good. Hunger Game fans, don't come at me. I would love to not fight about that. But like trilogies aren't good. They're not good. The concepts are hard to sustain.
Lord of the Rings doesn't count. It's all one book.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But Truly Devious is a YA mystery that takes place over the 3 books. I've never read a mystery that was more than 1 book before. It was just so fucking fun and clever, and like the main character is so deeply relatable. and it's just like diverse and thoughtful and awesome. So I recommend it to everyone. Truly Devious, the series. The second book is called The Vanishing Stairs, and the third book is called The Hand on the Wall. Let me know when you want them, Grace.
Yeah, seriously.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Jason, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Restricted Section. I'm glad it was pretty, even if it wasn't very, like, adventureful.
No, like, these are the best episodes where we just kind of shoot the shit.
It's true, and thank God you were here for it.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
Thank you for inviting me.
And Grace, thank you so much for being my co-chair.
Oh my gosh, any old time.
And this is the end of the podcast. And I'm actually going to start ending podcast episodes like that because it gives me too much anxiety to try to do like a real exit. So I'm
just keep going until it teeters off. It stops being
just
funny.
Like fade out.
I'm just going to be like, this is the end. And then it'll smash cut.
Just say like, this is the end, like over and over again, but like exit your room. So it's like fading out.
The end.
It's over. It's done.
That's it, potheads. Thanks for listening to the Restricted Section. This podcast is produced and hosted by me, Christina Kahn. Our theme music was produced by Ryan Kahn. Our logo was designed by Michael Hardison. Please connect with us on Twitter at RestrictedPod, on Instagram at RestrictedSectionPod, on Facebook at Restricted Section Pod, or in our Facebook group, The Restricted Section Detention Crew. Join our Patreon to get access to our Discord server, our bonus episodes, and other cool perks. We're also very happy to be a member of Deus Ex Media, where all you fucking nerds can find all kinds of fandom podcasts to suit your fancy.
What would you do if there was a terrifying prophecy about you?
Or you had to go on a perilous quest to save a friend.
Or everything you loved was in danger, and the world was about to end?
Whoa, slow down, Charlie. You know what to do when all that crazy stuff happens, right?
Call Ghostbusters?
No, you listen to Of the Eldest Gods.
Right. Sorry, Ray. Y'all can listen to our podcast about the Rick Riordan books.
We'll cover each chapter and talk about some of the fucked up mythological context.
And we'll probably get cursed by Zeus.
Let's hope that doesn't happen this season.
Catch Oteg on all your podcast platforms.
And eat some blue food while you listen.
Wish us luck while we survive the apocalypse.
Charlie.
What?
I want to go into Face Off and have them take my face off and just take it away. Nose included. I want the Voldemort treatment. I'm done with my nose.
Deus Ex Media.